Spark Your Love, a fun challenge for couples and singles. Episode 66. Hi, I'm Clarinda, and you are listening to the Feel Light, Mind, and Body podcast, created for women like you. Women who are experiencing success in so many areas of life, but are struggling with weight loss, stress eating, and decreased energy. Losing weight can feel hard, heavy, and restrictive. That's why every week I will be offering you a different perspective, tips, encouragement, and a unique approach so that you can feel lighter in your mind and body rather than feeling deprived, frustrated, or discouraged. What if you could feel free, yet in control around food for the rest of your life? What if you could enjoy your experience of losing weight and getting healthier? You absolutely can. You're in the right place. Take this time for yourself and let's dive in. There are hacks for almost everything in today's world, but there's no shortcut for love. Having a deeper connection requires being present in mind, heart, and body. It requires time together. It requires looking at your lover as they're talking, not at your phone. If you want to deepen your relationship, build trust and security, keep the romance going until you die, experience more fun and joy, support each other, and create a strong bond, then keep listening. When I brainstorm for a podcast, I like to decide on a topic and then let it marinate in my mind for a few days. I find inspiration for my podcast topics through coaching my clients' struggles and wins, personal experiences, and conversations at social events or with loved ones. One of the most significant examples of a quality relationship in my life has been my parents. How they worked, played, prayed, laughed, and grew together through the stages of life was inspiring. Like any relationship, it wasn't perfect, but the one thing they made very clear to us 4 children was the importance of their time together. Their nightly ritual of cuddling on the couch after dinner, engaging in heartfelt conversations, and sharing laughter demonstrated the power of presence and affection. It also provided a quiet reassurance and a sense of love and security that if mom and dad are good, then so are we. I'm very, very grateful for that. Sometimes we could hear one of them sharing a problem while the other one listened and supported as needed. Our parents' generation didn't have the cell phone distraction, but they had actual newspapers. I remember Mom pausing and saying, "Let me know when you finish that section, as I need to know you're listening." Dad would try to say that he was listening, but Mom would simply say, "I'll wait, as it doesn't feel like you are to me." Without all of the self-help tools we're exposed to, she was communicating her needs, and then Dad responded to honor that because he always wanted to please her. Now, let's dive into this Spark Your Love challenge so you can present this idea to your partner. Do you think he'll be open? You'll never really know until you ask. Communication begins with you for this one. Maybe listening to this episode together would be the best way to get him interested. I know when I meet some men, they say they feel like we've already met, as they've listened to this podcast with their wife on a road trip. That's always a fun conversation. So you can tell them it's not only for women. I do have male listeners. Choose a time together when you can relax and be playful with the ideas. Be willing to go first and being more vulnerable and honest than maybe is usual for you. Vulnerability and authenticity lead to deeper connection and intimacy. If you're familiar with Brené Brown's work, you'll know that she has many studies to support that statement. It's based on research. Be intentional and thoughtful in setting the scene, and of course, turning off devices is a must. Use these 6 steps as your guide, but feel free to add another question if you both agree on it. Number 1, let's identify 2 things we love to do together. 2, how often have we done these in the past 6 months? Number 3, if we did these things more often, would it help our relationship? 4, in what way? Be specific and give examples. Number 5, look at both of your calendars and book it for love. You could even call it LFC time. L for love and C for connection, and then you both can decide what you want the F to stand for. A couple of ideas that I can mention on this show are fun or first. Love first connection time. And 6, Guard that sacred time. Follow through and be present to maximize the experience. Allow for rare exceptions for cancellation with understanding. And if you want a copy of this love challenge, you'll see my website, clarendasempowerment.com, at the very bottom of this episode's description. You simply go there, then click on the blog post, and you'll see it. You can answer these together or separately, and then discuss them together. For my single listeners, I haven't forgotten about you. I know that February, the love month, can evoke mixed emotions, but it's essential to prioritize self-love and nurture your own happiness as well. Treat yourself to activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, whether it's a massage, a relaxing bath, or a night out with friends. If you spent last year's love month alone, literally, or maybe felt alone in a relationship, then decide how you want to feel this year. I've been there. Whatever you were thinking last year, don't repeat it if you want a different result. Choosing a good quality thought that's also true is key. Don't try to jump to the magical land of unicorns and shooting stars, because your mind will definitely reject that. It could be a simple thought like, oh, I can choose to watch whatever movie I want, go out for a walk, or curl up and read a new book. So while you might wish you were in a relationship, you can still ask yourself what you love to do. Then, like question 2 for the couples, how often have you done it in the past 6 months? If you did those things more often, would you have more satisfaction and pleasure in your life? Maybe you haven't treated yourself to a massage for years. Book one. If you had a boyfriend, you would spend that much on him anyway, so soak it up and enjoy. Even if you can't get in for a few weeks, you can smile and anticipate that self-care session. Maybe it's something as simple as enjoying a long, leisurely bath with candles and soft music. Nurture yourself, girlfriend. You deserve it. Continue to answer questions 3 to 6 from a single perspective. If you took care of yourself and were intentional in making it happen, would you have a more loving experience from day to day? My belief is, yes, you will. And when your cup is full and you feel happy and okay with being alone, that's when you'll attract in the right one. It won't be a needy, graspy match. It will be a true want match. Don't confuse needy with having a healthy desire to be in a relationship. Relationships help us grow and thrive. This healthy kind of need is a desire that can only add to the life satisfaction that you have now. Creating an extraordinary relationship is totally possible, and it begins with the relationship you establish within you. Creating an extraordinary relationship is totally possible, and it begins with you developing an extraordinary relationship with yourself. Remember, when we feel light in our hearts, minds, and bodies, we attract positive energy and meaningful connections. Like attracts like, so be first who you want to attract. And speaking of connection, don't miss out on the opportunity to join me for the Women's Feel Light, Heart, Mind, and Body Weekend Retreat on May 31st. Ask for a gift certificate or give yourself this nurturing gift. The anticipation will be delightful, and the transformative experience and connection time are beautiful. The registration page will be active by the time this episode airs, so don't waste a moment in checking it out. It's available for the first 15 who say yes. So to all the single ladies, if you love flowers, I hope you buy the beautiful ones that you really want. You get to choose, so don't be cheap with them. And if you decide you want chocolate or wine, make sure you like your reasons now and will also like how you feel tomorrow. Otherwise, you're really not being kind to yourself. If you happen to have a single friend, then why not plan a great night in or out? I know I did with my friend Dom a few years back. We grilled steaks, yams, veggies, and enjoyed a little sparkly with black bean brownies and a homemade pecan sauce. Our conversation was fun yet deep. It was an opportunity that we may never have again on Valentine's Day, and we maximized our experience. Consider what you've been thinking lately. Maybe you're single by choice. Maybe you've been looking for a while. If you want to feel better, you have to choose a perspective that will produce that feeling. You can hold space for wanting more while being appreciative of the benefits you have as a single. I know I did, and I had to be deliberate in doing so. But looking back, I'm so thankful that I did. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. If you're listening to this in February, let me know what you did to show love to yourself or someone else. Actually, hopefully both. I'll be asking on my social media platforms and can't wait to collect some ideas and be able to say, way to go. Let's celebrate the power of love together. So whether you're coupled up or flying solo, let's embrace the challenge of deepening our connections and spreading love wherever we go. Anything that keeps that spark alive is so worth our time and attention. I challenge you, and I'm doing this right along with you. Now, do yourself the biggest favor. From love, take at least one action step from what you learned today. Knowledge without application won't give you the results that you desire. Let me know on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, what you are choosing to do and when. And yes, please leave a podcast review wherever you are listening to this. When people read your words and can see themselves in them, then you are contributing to women empowering other women. And that feels amazing. You just might change or save a life today.